Hello, and welcome to another tale of optimization and entrepreneurship. We have today Mehdi from Australia. He has a company called OperisAI, and he is creating optimization products in the area of transportation and resource management for healthcare. So he's optimizing door-to-door services. And scheduling, like nurse care, housekeepers. So, in one word, house care and nursing. Mehdi, welcome. And you can introduce yourself, your company, how did you start, how the idea appeared, and then we'll continue the conversation from there. Thanks for joining.
Hello, Christina. Thanks for the introduction. Well, I'm Mehdi, the co-founder of OperisAI, a company that delivers optimization service for transport and resource planning in the healthcare sector. The story goes back to 2011, when I first started learning about optimization during my master's degree. I loved modeling and solving optimization problems, so that I always voluntarily involved in helping my classmates in their thesis. And that was a good period of time. And actually, I was introduced and involved in a few industrial projects at that time, which was the beginning of my freelancing journey. I worked as a freelancer for a number of years, and I learned a lot during that time. Loved those days. I had a lot of challenging problems that I had to wrestle with. It was amazing. And of course, the flexibility and the pay was good as well. And I highly recommend it to those who are interested in that. In 2017, I moved to Australia to a PhD in computer science. During that time, I was involved in a few industry research projects in optimization field again. That's when I met my co-founder, Andrew, the CEO of CareMaster. He had approached the university looking for the solution to a VRP problem in their CRM platform, which was used by service provider to provide transportation service for people with disability and the elderly. I think many freelancers have that moment when they find some project they kind of care about and want to go deeper. For me, that moment was when I started working on that VRP problem in 2018. And I've been working on problems in this sector ever since. Over the years, we developed optimization solutions with rich features to tackle different problems in healthcare sectors. And it was last year, some of the larger healthcare providers who already had their own CRM platforms, and they didn't want to switch to our CareMaster platform, CRM, showed some interest in using optimization services separately as a separate product. And that's when Andrew and I decided to bring all of our industry experience and technical knowledge together to start OperisAI. And that's how OperisAI was born.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. I'm happy to hear such a, a very good in the world application of optimization, because we often think about this business environment and let's save the money, let's do like this kind of business. Of course, also here it's also about the money, but you're also creating this positive impact in the community. And I wanted to ask, so what kind of tools are you using? How are you building the algorithms? What kind of methods? So yeah, a little bit of this technical details.
Thanks, Christina. We really do our best to support the community. Regarding the tools and methods we've used at the beginning, we actually looked at the most affordable solutions, starting with existing optimization services available on the market. We tested several well-known platforms, but unfortunately, none of them delivered the result we needed. The main issue is that most of these services are designed for supply chain use cases, like parcel deliveries, warehouse routing, but community transport for elderly and people with disabilities and relying heavily on volunteers workers is different game. These solutions simply lack the features to handle complex constraints and requirements in this space. To be fair, community transport VRP is, I believe, one of the most complex types of vehicle routing problems, and with relatively small market size, which explains why there aren't many specialized solutions out there. So because of that, we decided to build our own in-house optimization services. Now, when it comes to method, using exact algorithms alone wasn't practical. These problems are too complex and schedulers can't wait 30 minutes for routes to be generated. They expect results in a couple of minutes, so we designed a hybrid approach. Our main algorithm is a heuristic, which means it can find good solution quickly, because we need a good solution fast rather than an optimal solution after 20 minutes. But to improve solution quality, we combine heuristic with exact methods for solving smaller subproblems using decomposition techniques. This way, we could balance solution quality and computational speed. For solving those subproblems, we've leveraged open source solvers like Google's OR tools. And finally, KMS development team helped us to build the pipeline and infrastructure, ensuring that everything is secure and OperisAI can be seamlessly integrated to existing platforms. So in short, yeah, it's custom hybrid system built specifically for community transport and healthcare needs, something that wasn't available off the shelf.
Wow, yeah, that sounds quite complex. So, and when you build one of those models, do you need to modify it often, or you build it and you deploy it and you go to the next customer? You need to update constraints and requirements all the time.
That's a very good question, Christina. And I think it's also useful for those who are new in the field, because many people might think once you build a model, that's it, you're done. What's next? But in reality, it's quite different. In fact, we update and improve the algorithm regularly. Every time we encounter a new feature requested, which usually means new parameters, constraints, variables, and objectives, we work on extending the model to handle them. But it's not just about adding more complexity. We also want to make sure that when we introduce these new features, they don't negatively impact the performance for the users who don't need them. So part of our work is to carefully design the algorithm and the API interface in a way that keeps the API flexible and efficient for different use cases and for different users, consumers. So yes, it's an iterative process. We add new features, we improve the algorithms. And to manage this, we also invested a lot of time in building large sets of automated tests. These tests help us make sure that every time we update the algorithms, existing functionalities and performance stay intact.
Okay. And would you say this is the biggest challenge, the fact that every customer has their complexity and their requirements, or as an entrepreneur, you see a bigger challenge, or are they different?
Well, solving the right problem is challenging, but I think adopting new solutions in practice could also be sometimes even harder. This is something that I've seen across many industry where everything has been done in a certain way for years or even decades, and naturally people are resistant to change. I realized there are two key reasons behind the resistance. The first one is lack of trust in new solutions. People may think, how can a system understand my job better than I do? And the second is desire to contribute in the solution because they bring their own experience and insight, and that might not always be captured in the model. To address the first one, trust issue, we focused on making optimization process transparent. We worked on building explanations for the decisions that are made and provide what if scenario analysis for the users so they can visualize the impact of decisions on the KPIs. For the second issue, which is all about working with people, there are sometimes edge cases that are too specific or rare to be included in the optimization model. And these things may be as important and cannot be ignored yet. For instance, there are some volunteers, drivers in community transport who have certain preferences that if we wanted to add into the model will be very much more complex. And these cases are very rare, where schedulers can easily put them into considerations. And for that reason, we designed our optimization services to be interactive, allowing users to just or contribute to the solutions before and after the optimization process. And the API and the algorithm takes care of the changes that they make. This way, we combine the power of algorithms with human expertise, giving users the flexibility to handle those special cases directly. So yes, while building a high quality algorithm is a challenge, getting people to trust and adopt it could be sometimes
Okay,
even
wow,
hard.
that sounds great. Because if you manage to keep the users happy, right? So you first give them explanation about why is the result like that, and then you give them a way to overwrite the results. That's good because that's not possible, or let's say maybe other softwares they don't invest too much time into this, and then you end up to the classic, yeah, they use it for a while and then they go back to Excel. So
Yeah,
having
and that's
this
actually helped a lot with building the trust with
yes.
them. And now we have a lot of users that, yeah, they don't override the solution anymore because they already know that it's working.
Yes, wow, yeah, that's wonderful. That sounds great. So yeah, maybe that's already the answer to the next question is like, what is success to you? Maybe as a person, or as an entrepreneur, how, yeah, what's the definition of success for you?
Well, I think as a person, every step that I take for my personal growth is a success for myself. I'm trying not to be hard on myself. That's, yeah, I will consider that as a success. And as a co-founder of OperisAI, I think building solutions and features that create values to the client, it's a real success. When we like see smiles on the face of users, that's like priceless.
Yes, I can imagine. That's a very good feeling. So let me share my screen so you can talk a little bit about the services that you offer, and well, let me make it a bit bigger. So this is the slide that Mehdi prepared, and he will walk you through Yeah.
Yeah, sure. All right. So as you know, OperisAI is a cloud-based optimization as a service system. It integrates with every aspect of the platform, which could be a transport management system or a resource management system. For a transport system, it connects to the GPS trackers and vehicles data, live data. It captures live traffic data and makes sure it provides accurate estimation. And it actually tries to collect data from workers and drivers, keep updating their availability and their licensing and everything that they need to see about the operations in their app. And it's also like we modeled all the constraints related to the labor law, because in Australia, the legislation is a bit difficult to model if you want to model it in a mathematical model. So in an optimization problem, when you have a worker, there are a lot of like numerous exceptions, regulations, and like penalties, allowance that have to be considered. And yeah, we actually managed to handle these and model them in our optimization models. So we are considering all the shards award in our optimization process, which is the shards award is one of the most complex award in Australia in the labor regulations. And we also try to have the portal for the management level. So because at the end of the day, it's the management level that they want to see progress. They want to see improvement in their KPIs, and they want to prioritize their business strategies and priorities. So we allow them to adjust the parameters so that it aligns with their business. No matter if it's a non-profit business or for-profit business, they can adjust the parameters so the solutions they get align with their priorities. And all of these are integrated with a engine, the optimization and algorithm engine, which includes a machine learning algorithms and optimization algorithm to prepare data and solve optimization problem dynamically in real time. And it like the whole API system is integrated with every aspect that I've just mentioned, and keep updating every second to make sure that everything is synced. The front end and back end is synced.
Okay, thank you.
And
Wow.
that's how we solve this problem and try to help people in this industry to have a better life, because it's at the end of the day, it's just people with disability and elderly people who really need like a better service. They can't use public transport. They need help at their home. They need nurses or housekeepers at their place. And if we can't provide the right solutions, right service to them, it's actually impacting their quality of life.
Yes, it's important to keep in mind that people around us sometimes have disability, and if we can help make their life better, that's wonderful, in my opinion. And we can also mention that this week, when we are recording the podcast on the 21st of March, is the World Down Syndrome Day. So we can celebrate and bring more awareness about that with this conversation we had with Mehdi. Thank you very much, Mehdi. And I wanted to ask if there is something else you want to share with the audience that I didn't ask, and if you want them to remember something from you, or yeah.
Thanks, Christina, for having me. Thank you. You've already covered many things, and
If our community colleagues have questions, they can reach out to you, right? Because you talked about so many interesting things. I'm sure they will have a lot of questions, so they can reach you via LinkedIn, probably. or?
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I would be happy to help. And if there is anyone who has problems which are similar to this, or they want to talk about any problem that we might be able to help or solve, I'm happy to connect and discuss.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No
It was
worries.
great having you. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will see you next time.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.